haven't been outside maybe a lot this summer. Maybe I don't know what it is, but I was just outside talking to my neighbor on the back porch, and I got lit the fuck up by mosquitoes. And
Oh,
one of them is on my toe, and I want to blow my fucking brains out. I don't know about you guys, but this is how it ends. I think this is how I go.
oh boy, I don't know how you're surviving because
I know it's fucking tough life, man.
I reach
Yeah.
into like dark holes every single day, and I'm still dealing with a wasp sting right there on my little pinky finger right
Damn.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can't
I don't
believe
know.
you
I
had to
just
deal with a
I've never been a
mosquito.
mosquito magnet either. So like my wife was just making fun of me because I guess got bit like by mosquitoes as a child, and it's never really been a problem for me. I get a mosquito bite here or there, but woo, they fucking lit me up just standing on my back porch just a few minutes ago.
You know what's great
Damn.
about this is like you give us shit, all of our white people problems. You guys get lit up by the sun.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
you're experiencing your first mosquito bite, you poor thing. When you say lit
Well,
up,
no, not like ever, but like of the year, like I haven't really been had mosquito bites because I guess I haven't been out in grasslands.
it
I
doesn't
stood in
sound
a
like it.
parking lot last weekend. That there's not a whole lot of mosquito action, but
Golly
uh,
day. Yeah,
yeah,
you
fucking move,
It's on
boy.
a very irritable spot in your foot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it's like right on the fucking like third toe. So like if you're moving over on my left foot.
Hmm.
So basically
it's the
the
same either
entire
way you
webbing.
go.
Yeah, it
The
could be left
yeah,
or
it
right.
doesn't really matter. So, like the whole webbing of my foot right now is just itching, and I would love to rip my foot off
You poor
if at all.
guy. Is there an
I
urgent
know.
care nearby that you
I
can
don't
visit?
think so. I think I mean I might take a Benadryl and sleep like a baby today, but that's about it.
Just
You know,
try
it's
some
tough
ice.
life. These sales guys, we got hard life.
Some ice helps.
Does it? My wife was like, put some aloe on it, and I was like, it ain't sunburn, bitch. Like, what are you talking about?
You know what really
Like,
helps is
does it?
sucking it
No.
up and just fucking moving about your
Well,
life.
no,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
obviously.
You got any
Yeah,
shin splints too?
and sucking on it. If you can get your foot to your mouth, just like suck the mosquito poison out. That'll really
I
get it.
mean, no. I am flexible, but no, nope, that's just not an option.
You put your right foot in your mouth and you shake it all about. That's a different hokey. That's the remix of the Hokey Pokey.
Yeah,
So this is possibly where brain aneurysms start. You're so irritated by this. You're like rubbing. You say it's your left foot.
yeah,
I know what's happening. You're taking your right heel and you're just fucking jabbing it into that
yep,
puppy and on a
yeah, that's
downward
exactly right.
motion over and
Yeah,
over again. And it's just it's going to bother you to a point
yeah,
where blood is going to calcify in your brain. And about a month from now, you're just going to, and then
yeah,
you're just going to be, you're not going to die. You're just going to be more pissed off than you were.
yeah. That's true.
And then the
It'll just
mosquito will bite you then.
it'll bite me in the same exact spot, and it'll be fucking like it'll last twice as long.
How long do you guys think you have in a post-apocalyptic scenario? Like, the shit goes down. Let's just okay, Alan. Obviously, I'm going to point at you first here, Mr. Mosquito Bite.
Yeah.
Um, how long could the power grid stay down before, like, you just give up? Like, you literally walk out in the streets of Baltimore with your hands in the air and just say, "I'm all yours, boys."
Look, I have crafted a charmed life for myself, but I am a savvy individual. I'm pretty intelligent. I am also absolutely fucking ruthless. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that in our brief stint together, but I would literally kill the two of you for literally anything. Oh, really? So, yeah, I think I'm good for a while. I just need to get my hands on some weapons. I don't stockpile weapons like some Americans. It's not my brand. But yeah, I just need to get my hands on some weapons. I got some guys though. I look. I network as a profession. I also network in my personal life. I got some guys on some plots of land that I think we're gonna be all right on.
Okay, all right. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just talking about the power grid being out for a couple days or so, but
Oh, that? Yeah, I'm fine. We're good on that.
you've already eaten 3 people,
Yeah.
murdered your
Well, like I
family.
said, ruthless, bro. I don't care.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about no generator, right? No power.
No power, whatever's in the house,
Mm.
whatever sources are left over. Again, that's why I feel like the cities are just bad news, man.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I don't
Are
keep a
they or
lot of.
are they a plethora of fucking opportunity?
Yeah, a lot of opportunity, but you think you're ruthless. There's a guy like just doing it for funsies right now, and there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
that's
the world.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Wes, what are you gonna say?
I don't keep a lot of dry goods around. I think anything up there, if the fit were to hit the shan, the fridge and freezer are obsolete. I mean, I like realistically in my pantry, something that's going to last 3 days. I mean, I have like a big thing of sourdough bread, but what do you got on that? Maybe a
I
week.
got a shitload of spam.
But
We're good
yeah,
on
I
spam.
don't care that.
We're good on spam for a while.
I got a can of black beans and tomatoes with chili peppers that I was planning on cooking in a pot in the near future because I like to do that over toast with eggs. I got a couple cans of tuna, a couple cans of chicken. Outside of that, man, it's pretty. I got some plantain chips.
Those will last forever.
Yeah,
You got the dog.
Yeah.
that's not a
See,
bad
that's
idea.
that's what I'm talking.
But then
about.
I ain't gonna make a fire.
You got your neighbor.
That's not true. I got my grill that's gas powered.
See,
There you go. To cook
Two
your neighbor.
tanks. I could cook my neighbor and the dog. It could be a guess which is which.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like,
is
you don't
it
even got to
dog
kill
or
your
is it
dog
human?
first. Yeah, there's plenty of street dogs around to kill.
It's like the Pepsi or Coke with Sarah. Is it the neighbor or is it the dog?
This is the dog. Which one is it?
trick question. I mixed them together. You'll never know.
It's a blend.
The neighbor
And I
dog
put him
meat.
I put him in casing of your intestines. Ah, you're dying. Yeah,
You
you're
just pick
next.
your head.
If you're out of casings, you know.
That's right. What brought that up? Were you just putzing around today, thinking like,
I think about this quite often, probably more often than a psychological professional
He's
would
in
like
that
to hear.
demographic. Like,
Well,
of guys who's just, like,
I am, but I'm not. Like, I mean, Wes, I'm a pretty handy guy. I'm pretty good with I'm pretty resourceful with things that are in my vicinity. But
hold on. Keep that line in mind. I got a really good story that Alan's gonna enjoy. Go
Okay.
on. You're a resourceful guy.
okay, and I look at the preppers and I don't prep because I don't want to be lumped into that genre of human that's kind of insane and crazy who preps and has dry good food stored in his basement back by where the oil goes into his furnace. I don't want to be that guy, but I also know that that's the guy who lives when shit goes down. When Skynet finally goes online and takes you all offline, those are the people that will rebuild this country in their own image.
See, and conversely, I think that that's the person, like, no offense, Mur, you are the first person I come to kill because you've already set it up for me. Why do I got to do all the work?
But the amount of like booby trapping I'm gonna do around my 1 acre of property, my house sits right in the middle of it. There's
Just
gonna
an
be it ain't gonna be an easy it ain't gonna be an easy trot to the front door.
Yeah, we don't need, I just need you dead and from a distance. That's fairly simple.
It's gonna be started.
And then, no offense, but Maria and the boy, that's good eatings.
It's gonna be like his
I
yard.
don't even got to crack into the stores yet. We got fresh meat, boys.
His yard's gonna just be littered with dog shit for you to step in, just to annoy the shit
That's
out
all.
of you.
That's what it is.
Oh, Alan's gonna get like 50 feet from the door. I'm gonna release the mosquitoes.
Yeah, and then I'm done, and then I'm finished because I'm definitely
the
wearing
toes.
sandals.
Go for the toes. He loves it. I met a guy I haven't seen him in a long time. It was just, I'd say we're acquaintances for a window. He had what he called an oh shit bag. You familiar with these?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
bag.
Yeah,
Bug out bag. Oh shit bag. He's got the water. I think he had some dry goods, a little bit of cash, but he didn't keep the cash in the bag. He said the cash is in the undisclosed area of his house. Fine. I'm not going to rob you, but I understand why you do that. And a few other things in there as like holy shit, fuck it, I can't grab anything. This is it. I'm hopping in the car and we're out.
Yeah, that's wise. I feel like that's wise, but I feel like people I feel like the pandemic should have awakened a lot more of us than it did, but we
Yeah.
all got too the problem is that
We
cable
all started arguing with each other.
because cable news didn't go out. If cable news was like the first victim of the pandemic, we probably would have made it through fucking
We'd have
fine.
been fine. Yeah, we'd have been fine.
Yeah, we had us to talk to once a week.
Yeah.
But that was enjoyable. I was getting my nipples waxed.
Yeah,
know,
that was wild. It was
we were-
wild times, man.
we were talking about Joe Exotic. I think every third or every other episode.
God, well, that was such a good
That was a good run.
I think that we all thought that once everybody finished binging Tiger King, that the pandemic was going to be over. Like, wow, that was a fun week. That was a fun 2 weeks, man.
Yeah.
Woo. You know, it could have been worse, but man, it wasn't that bad. And then it just, chaos in the streets.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. All
Yeah.
that. Woo. We've had a run, haven't we?
Only 2 seasons of Tiger King. Christ, I mean, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
But Wes,
Come on.
That was the small minor collapse before the big collapse. Give it a couple more years.
that's true.
You're right.
All right, so resourcefulness.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is when you were going to College Park, University of Maryland. I think it is, but we had a mutual friend who we'll call Smock the Ron. Does that not ring a bell?
No.
Anyway, Rick Flock.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Anywho, he asks Alan, he asks Murray, he says, oh, he's asking anybody. He's like, I locked my keys. First of all, this guy's a monumental drunk, asshole, prick, ruined every cool thing that you were ever around or in proximity of or trying to do. And he's like, oh, I locked my keys in my car. Murr, you're a pretty crafty guy. You could jerry rig a coat hanger to get in there and unlock it. And Murr's never one to shy away from a challenge. He was like, absolutely. And it turned into about an hour-long ordeal of Murr wedging it up through a closed window and down, and finally got enough leverage to get it and pop it open. Well, it turns out the back doors were unlocked.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wait a minute. The back doors are unlocked.
Actually, what happened was
I thought Murr was going to choke him with the coat hanger.
I got the coat hanger in there and I got it latched against what you're supposed to get it latched against, and I pulled a couple times and it kept slipping off, and I got so pissed. I think I did one of those like pirouettes in the street where I screamed at the sky and cursed God for a second, and then I turned and I grabbed the back door and pulled it and it was open. I was like, "Fuck you, man! Fuck you!"
All right. So look, this is not the show. I know Murr's a crafty dude because we've discussed it before, but not to shoot holes in this one. But that's not that hard. Fucking using a coat hanger to fucking pop open a lock is actually very simple. I had a guy very close to me back in the day who used to lift car stereos out of fucking cars and sell them as a side hustle.
For
This
somebody
is a
who's
friend
only
of yours, huh?
for somebody
Yeah,
only
it's a close acquaintance.
but for somebody like me, it's like as seen on TV. I understand the mechanics. I've never done this before, but I bet I could. And I got close, and then I was just like,
Nice.
I think in the back of my mind, I was like, how much of an idiot is this guy I'm helping? He's dumb enough to leave all the other doors unlocked.
Yeah.
And that's what exactly happened. That same person, by the way, rolled his car in front of my house in Conowingo, knocked on my door at 2 a.m., and me and and we'll call him Smetty Leda, Wes. We were both.
That's a hell of a name. Your
We were
buddy
both
Smetty.
in the house. This car is on its roof. The three of us are able to boom, 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 back to its wheels, push it out of the road, and we're like, I was like, dude, you're not staying at my house because when the cops come and find that car fucked up on the side of the road, they're knocking here first. You ain't gonna be here. And he's like, all right, and he just starts running down the road. Left the car.
Yeah,
That's
how
it.
else would you go?
Last I heard of it.
Fair enough. Well,
Might be the last time I ever saw that person too.
Yeah, that's
not surprising.
one time.
I don't
too
even
many.
know this person, and that's not surprising to me.
Legitimately,
I know. I have one of these persons.
You're right. You're right.
Yep.
They just fucked up everything cool. They just, I don't really want to get into it. Actually, the only thing not to say the only thing, one of the cooler things I ever saw, we were getting hassled at a fraternity party at University of Maryland, and he pissed in one of the Jungle Juice tubs. It was like a legitimate Gatorade one. And I was like, hey, just run a little recon for me, distract him. I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, oh, wow, he's doing it. And sure enough, one of these bros comes up right after the lid's been singed and it's been shooken up a little bit. He's like, hey, what's up, guys? All right, gonna go dance with some chicks. Glop, 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 glop. And I was like, gag, 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 gag. I was like, yo, we need to get the fuck out of here before we're drinking piss and not from a Gatorade cup.
Yep.
Right,
from someone's penis.
Right from the fucking hose. That's exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Middle class souls, everyone. Murr, Allen, and Fox, man. Listen, talking about getting frat boys fucking pissed off. That pales in compare. That's complete child's play to what happened in Ohio. Actually, let's see here. It happened a couple of months ago. I just caught wind of it. So these two men were in a fishing competition. Don't know what they were. It was walleye. I mean, it's Ohio. They're famous
fish.
for walleye, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's tons of fish in Ohio, but I don't know. But anyway, if you're not familiar with how fishing competitions work, it's all by weight. You get a certain amount of time, and I think there's like areas you can or can't fish in. That's the layperson that may have watched 30 seconds of a fishing competition on ESPN4 at 5 a.m. once. I think there is one where a guy catches one with like 30 seconds left on the clock and goes bananas. Have you seen that? Probably like 10 years ago.
It's a fishing competition that's gone bananas.
It's not. No. It's not a fishing competition. To these guys, it is the fishing competition. It's like Bass Pro Shop World Series of Fishing or something.
I'll admit those could be kind of exciting because whatever these guys have going on, they're like, wham, they're like snipers with these lures, and they know exactly where to throw them, and they're like catching 15 bass a minute, and it's So I can see how that can get exciting.
I don't know the rules, but it's fucking exciting. Yeah.
The one I'm speaking of, not what I'm about to talk about. There was literally, I think, like less than a minute on the clock, and the guy had to catch something pretty sizable to catapult him into first place, and does. And this guy, who do you think you are? I am. That doesn't do it any justice. This guy gets on his back and starts like dry humping the air with the fish on his gut. Like, yeah, look at that! I'm a champion.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
these two guys win. I'm going to get their names here in a little bit. But one of the judges got a little bit suspicious, started grabbing the fish. When they weigh them, they put them on this giant hook that's attached to a scale. They won, I think, like it was like $35,000. Then someone gets wise to it, cuts the fish's guts open, and pulls out just those big lead circular weights from each and every one of them. And I'm telling you what, you want to piss a lot of fucking redneck fishing competitors off. I'm surprised these guys didn't get fucking lynched. I mean, hung from the same scale that these fish are weighed from, and then weight stuffed in their rear ends and mouths. Have you seen the videos?
I have not seen the video, but as someone who worked in Slower Lower Delaware and down in Ocean City, they have the big marlin fishing championship.
Oh yeah.
There, I think in 5 years there were like at least two like big deal. Like one of them was these guys had actually gone out a couple days before with some frozen fish and actually put them on the line. And they had thawed out over the couple days, and they were like champion, like swordfish or whatever the fuck they're going, marlin that they were going to catch.
Yeah.
And so but somehow they figured out that nope, I can see the necrosis on these marlin. These have been dead for 3 days. And it's like dun dun dun. And then there was another one, something super similar to what you're talking about, where like I don't think they weighted down the marlin itself, but I think they had put weights inside of the bait fish. And that caused it to be heavier. So if, like, let's say herring, I don't know what fish they use, but, like, let's say they had herring they were going to be using as bait. They would actually stuff the lead weights inside the herring. So you might cut open. Yeah.
Got it.
That's crafty. And that's so, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Have a judge on every boat?
Or just not do these competitions for such wild amounts of money. Like, people are willing to, like, cheat. I mean, I don't know what the top prize is for. What was the top prize in this one?
35 grand.
35,000 for walleye. So like the white marlin, like out on the open water of the ocean, I think it might be $1 million is the top prize.
I think that is hold on.
49 years and over $95 million in prize money for the White Marlin Open in Ocean City, Maryland.
White Marlin Open winning prize. 2022 White Marlin Open that ended last. This is from last year. Let's see here.
Yeah, the awards.
Activity remembered a lot of things, including a new world record $4.5 million payout for a single fish.
Damn.
I don't.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and I think it goes by weight because again, then they weigh that fish and then they cut it up and sell it, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's $95 million spread over white marlin, blue marlin, tuna, wahoo, dolphin, and swordfish. Like, you know what I mean? So like they have different tournaments for this open.
Yeah,
Like,
but like
they're different categories.
the big day is like the bringing in the marlin.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's the big fucking deal.
But
I
man,
want to.
when you put that kind of money up on any sport, any competition, anything that it is, like you are going to get cheats and thieves,
Yeah.
and I think we kind of want them to be that way
Yeah.
because we want to see the most ridiculous. You watch the Olympics every 4 years. The only thing you remember is when somebody breaks a world record and you're amazed. Like you don't give a shit who won the gold medal. You care that they showed you peak human performance. So when you see somebody catch a fish, you don't give a shit they caught a fish. You want to know how big that goddamn fish is. You want to know it weighed 96 kilos or where the fuck they weigh. You know, like that's what you're going for, and that's what makes people fucking cheat.
Plus, like, I don't know, man. Like, the guys that I know that like fish hardcore, like, there's I think a dichotomy, right? There's like very upstanding fucking anglers who are like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and then there's the fucking roughneck, redneck, fucking good old boys that are fucking just out there fishing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And fucking, if there's prize money that you're dangling in front of them, well, got to make payroll in my electrical company that I own, so I better fucking stuff these marlin full of fucking weights. Like, you know, been gambling up in Atlantic City a lot. So it's a very, you're gonna get a crowd of people that's probably going to do some dicey shit. And I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. Let's fucking put money on the fights afterwards.
I just feel like there should be a whole league of like cheating, just like
Yeah,
whatever
cheating
gets it done.
We should be like, yeah, you should do the same exact shit, but like award the best cheater. It'd be like,
Wow.
damn, that was fucking good, man. How'd you do that?
If you watch this, and I'm going to see if I can, I'm going to share this with you guys just to show you, like let's see here. So if you see the basket here, or the type of weights they were using compared to the size of the fish, you can see these, and they stuffed them all in there. But, and I'm trying to get a picture of the crowd because you see him holding the weights in front of the cheater here, and they were pretty, they weren't exactly argumentative. They just kind of took it up the keister. Oh, you guys, okay, you seeing this now?
Yeah.
Okay. But I got to tell you, man, when they first opened that up, I mean, here's a good picture right here with the amount of people that are around. And these are all competitors. I thought for sure these guys were going to get at least socked once or twice. And the event organizers were like, nobody touch them. Nobody do anything. You know, let them leave. Apparently they actually, they did plead guilty to some, I don't know what kind of crime. I don't know.
Fraud. It's fraud, probably.
Yeah,
because
dude,
you like sign a contract. You got to abide by those guidelines, and you make money. Like,
That's a good
that's
point.
fraud.
You were literally trying to steal money. I mean,
You're
there's other
defrauding
people.
the competition. Yeah.
10 days in jail, some other undisclosed, including the forfeiture of one of the guy's boats, with valued at $100,000.
Oh, damn.
That seems a little like, why am I forfeiting my personal belongings? Yeah, you could definitely send me to jail, sue me. I'm not getting the money. You ain't taking my fucking boat. Fuck off, Ohio.
I don't know, man, because it could also be like, well, you either give us the boat or I give you to the crowd. Your choice. What you like?
Yeah,
And this one-
you're killing me. You were gonna murder me in front of 100 people, motherfucker. We are not doing this.
Yeah, and this one actually may sting a little bit, depending upon who you ask. This suspension really means dick to me, but to someone like this, 3 years of the fishing license suspended. Ooh,
You got a $110,000 boat. I'm sure that's gonna sting a little bit.
I have a feeling somebody's gonna be spending a lot of time in the old Bass Pro Shop pyramid out in fucking
Yeah, right.
Nashville, just fucking throwing out
Memphis.
Memphis testing rods and reels.
Yeah, that's right.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough.
And Murray, you said when we brought this up that you just had a whole idea about talking about cheating in sports.
Well,
you're not talking about just like steroids and things like this, because we had talked about that woman who won the Boston Marathon in the '70s, who like competitors are like, wait a minute, I didn't see her fucking pass me. Turns out she was ducking behind railings, taking subways and taking, I think, not trains, buses to certain stops.
I think we all like when we look back at Barry Bonds now and then we look at that whole era, it's like, well, no shit, he took steroids. Like he had to. Everybody else around him was, and they weren't getting them, so he had to go and do it too. And maybe he rubbed a little bit too much cream on the nipples there, and it just it worked a little too well.
A little too much deer antler spray.
But there comes a point though where you almost have to respect the cheating, because I feel like the cheater is cheating because the cheater wants to win so much, and we value winning so much in this country that eventually it comes down to like Roger Clemens, like, I'm 40 but I still want to throw a fastball. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna cheat. And I almost feel like there should be, I don't know, a soft spot for the cheaters in this country.
I like how we're so fucking American that instead of being like, maybe we should like devalue winning so fucking highly and look after these men's mental health, we're like, you know what? We should just make a new cheaters category. That'd be fucking cool. We'd fucking definitely give cheaters more shit. That's fucking awesome. And praise them for their cheating.
Well, when it's on your team, right? You'll make a lot of excuses for that cheater.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I'm not saying like that's not even a judgment. That's just like because I agree. Yeah, let's do it.
It's just an observation of
yeah.
Just
it's just
how
like,
they
oh,
do it.
cool.
Like Rafael Palmeiro didn't break my heart because he took steroids. Rafi broke my heart because he didn't hit like 45 home runs during that time.
Yeah. Like Rafi, you were a stud. If you were taking steroids, I need you hitting 75. Why aren't you in the mix with Sammy Sosa, motherfucker?
Why are you slapping it to right field? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, let's hold on.
You
So
hit a
first
ball
of
out
all,
the field on steroids, you're fired, motherfucker. Get out.
Palmeiro was like putting up like 35, 40 a year and did hit like 560 in his career.
Yes,
and
that's true.
I will. Some of this stuff, I don't want to get too deep into the baseball steroids thing because we're talking about cheating in sports. But I mean, like Dave Segui wrote a paper or didn't write. He wrote something about I took steroids because I couldn't walk in the morning after knee surgery.
Well,
it had nothing to do with hitting a baseball. Palmeiro may have taken him for a guy that sure didn't look like it, unless it was for his mustache, which was beautiful, by the way. And that was actually one of my mom's
steroids.
That was one of my mom's hall passes.
Really?
I was like, "Who on the Orioles do you like?" And without even that fast, she was like, "Oh, Palmeiro."
She said the fucking Latin snake, Rafael Palmeiro.
The Latin snake. Look at him, the Cuban snake.
Fucking Latino heat.
That's right. But I think my point is with the steroids, you had to understand like some of these, like Gagne was taking it to throw 103 and blow his arm out in 3 years.
Yeah.
He was like, "Fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna set a saves record, and my arm's gonna be like Linguini."
You're gonna cut this fucking thing off of me when I'm done.
Yeah, when I'm gonna be in the hall of really stupid. I'm gonna make a ton of money, and you're gonna remember this face and this name. But I don't know. I think I'm a little more. I guess a little more intrigued by the people who, rather than like performance enhancing, just flat out just did something deceivious, just cheated.
Okay, what about
out.
Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan?
Is that cheating or just? I don't know. It's not necessarily cheating, is it?
What would you call it? Because you can't. Okay, this is why
Assault?
I know it's a straight assault. She had her ex-husband hit her in the knee with a fucking piece of rebar. I mean,
yeah, I feel like cheating would be like, somebody went and dulled fucking, her skates or something unexpected, and then the bitch couldn't triple Lutz or whatever the fuck they do. You know what I mean? That's cheating.
She dulled her patellar
She was like,
tendon.
you know what? I'm gonna kill this bitch.
Yeah.
That's just straight up eliminating the competition. You ain't even cheating at that point.
Yeah, or like if someone went in and loosened up the brakes of the Jamaican bobsled team. I knew it was those Swiss. It was those dirty fucking Swiss.
Yeah. Now, if you had just killed the Jamaicans, that's not cheating.
Yeah, all you had to do there, you just had to
It's
steal their egg. You steal their egg, they had no power. That's how
That's
it had to
fair.
happen there.
That is very true.
Yeah. What other good, like, I'm trying to think of some of the, I mean, it's like, they did talk about like cheating and people wearing talcum or sticky to their receiving
stick 'em.
gloves.
But it wasn't outlawed. So, I mean,
Right.
cheating?
I don't think so.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously somebody thought it was, or they wouldn't have called it cheating immediately after finding out it was happened. I do like innovation in those categories, but sometimes I have to wonder, like, what do you consider cheating and what do you consider a competitive
Well,
advantage?
if it's outside of the rules and then you make it inside of the rules, okay, now it's cheating. But when you called me, I wasn't cheating.
Deflating a football to a point where your receivers aren't dropping it.
Didn't they?
That was in the rules, though. That's cheating.
But
Yeah, I
didn't they debunk that though? Didn't like the Patriots get away with that
I'm
particular
pretty sure they've like triple confirmed that shit.
I thought that was the only one that they were like,
Oh
"Nah."
no, I'm pretty sure all of them have been. Almost every single one of those is confirmed.
But I have to say this though. Is it cheating if there's no checking? So what I mean by that is like if the NFL says each ball needs to be regulated to this many psi, da 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 da, and then you don't check the ball, what do you expect the
Well, I
the
think
competitor to
I
do?
think that was part of the problem though. They did check the balls, but like they would check the balls, and then an assistant would come in after the ball check was done and was like, "Tss."
Yeah. Well, either
You get
way,
what I'm
that's.
saying?
But I expect. Okay, I expect it. Now, Wes, did you ever play for old George Reynolds?
No, actually, I lucked out. My first year was the year he retired.
Okay, well, see, I got to play for old George Reynolds. Now, George Reynolds came from like that 1980s School of Hard Knocks. You know, if you don't if you're a pussy, you don't win. And he would gleefully pump our soccer balls up to a point to where the other like he bragged about how like a kid got knocked out one year because he took a header from one of our soccer balls and it must have been at 55 psi and knocked him clean on his ass. I'm like, yeah, but we have to head them too, you dick fuck. Like,
Now, you guys are tough.
yeah,
All right,
You guys are tough. You had them all the time.
And-
I make it 35. I bounce it off your head. I make it 45. I bounce it off your head a little more. I make it 55. You're resistant.
Yeah, and then you just don't feel it.
Yeah, you have CT at that point.
yeah. Your brain has been so dulled, you don't feel pain in the head, neck, or shoulder region. Yeah, but see, but there was nobody regulating that, so like he got away with it for years and years and years. I think one of our like parents actually complained about it to make it stop because it was
Right.
hurting people. But so I guess my point is like with the NFL and the football, it's like a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like it shouldn't take like some guy named Jed who makes $35,000 a year part time to come in and switcheroo the balls in the middle of a game. Like that shouldn't be a thing that occurs. And if it does, I expect the team to pull it off. And they did.
Sure.
The only reason they didn't get away with it is because they were the Patriots and they already had like 5 rings at that point.
Well, also, you would think they would have a more like, I don't know. It felt very Wild Westy. You know what I mean? They were just like, hey, like it felt like a pickup game between you and your friends. You know what I mean? Hey, you got a ball? You bring a ball. I'll bring a ball. And then we got 2 balls. That's great. In case somebody throws one into the fucking woods. You know what I mean? Like that's
No,
what
no.
it felt like when the shit was coming out. Like the Patriots were like, well, we put in 4 balls and they put in 4 balls. Our 4 balls just happened to get a little fucking treatment beforehand. Like it was the weirdest fucking thing. And I was like, hey, multi-billion-dollar NFL, what is this? what is this scenario that you've created?
Well, this is so, and I didn't really know this until Deflategate was that as the offense you have your own balls. So when your defense is on the field and they were playing the Colts during that playoff game, the Colts team has their own balls that I guess Andrew Luck would under center would handle, and then the Patriots likewise. And yeah, no, it did find like referee checks it before it comes on field. Yep, looks good to me. And then between there and the first snap, it either got deflated or was swapped out with a ball that got deflated. Unbeknownst to this referee who's busy, I don't know, looking at the clock, talking to the refs, looking at the cheerleaders, looking at how many men are on the field. Who knows? Maybe they had a diversion. Maybe the Patriots like, you go out and you'll talk to him. And when that happens, and then we'll go to that. But I always found it humorous where Brady was like, I couldn't tell. I didn't know. I grabbed that. And I always go back to
Tiger Woods and the clubs.
I think it's Tiger Woods in the clubs. That's right. Like, I'll take the light one. And it was like these are a gram apart. And I said like most humans wouldn't be able to like notice a weight difference. So for a guy like Tom Brady to be like, I don't know, it didn't feel deflated to me. I throw with a glove, so it's kind of so tough. It's tough for me to understand that. Like shut the fuck up.
Well,
Shut
either
up.
way, he still won 2 more Super Bowls after that whole fiasco.
That's correct.
So,
that's
you
correct.
know.
What about like how about the I don't know necessarily cheating rather than getting caught throwing the 1918 Black Sox scandal.
What, where you like accidentally like maybe miss 3 and 2 fucking right down the center of the plate pitch? Like, oh shucks, I'll get him next time, coach. Ugh.
He's throwing good today.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't
like,
wait.
I
Yeah.
can see that. I mean, you got at the time, like adjusted for inflation, you've got like hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. Yeah, I can see me, and you're getting paid in fucking tobacco.
That's right. Now, you're familiar with how Henry Hill and that whole team, that whole realm of people got caught. That Henry Hill from Goodfellas, who did exist, who was part of the I don't know, is it Gambino or I
Yeah,
think it was a Gambino crime
pretty sure it
family.
was Gambino.
So anyway, they they brought him in for questioning, and at the time, or maybe just soon after one of the college basketball seasons, they had Boston College basketball players on their payroll throwing games. But what they were doing was, if they had a spread of like 10, like Boston College is favored by 10 points, they would say like only win by 6. And the players would be like, okay, we're winning, but we just miss a free throw here, give up an easy bucket here or there, and you win. But they cover the spread. And Henry Hill didn't know that this was against the law and admitted it to the FBI. He was like, yeah, we got these college kids up in Boston, doing this for us. Like, wait, go on, continue. He's like, I didn't know it was against the law. Hey, is it kids they're winning the game? They're getting paid a little bit too.
Can I get out of here? I got to feed the hogs.
It's, so silly. So any other? I'm trying to. God damn, I'm cheating in sports.
I mean, you would think in our lifetime there's been so fucking many. I mean, like, and then all the steroids, like was it the West Germany swimmers that like came in with like mustaches and like penises.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I mean, we could talk about like the fucking, I don't know, roughly like 25, 20-year-old Puerto Rican kids that they've sent to Little League World Series.
That too.
Right.
Or like a decade of Chinese Taipei fucking sending like 30-year-old fucking teams to fucking win Little League World Series. Big fucking cheating in Little League World Series world.
I heard
there was there was the chess guy who they thought had a communication device in his butthole.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, look, when there's money on the line, you will go to any lengths. I mean, look at the Tour de France for all those years that Lance Armstrong was competing. Like those guys didn't even have blood in their body. They had like antifreeze and fucking like anabolic steroids just flowing through their veins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Almonte.
They don't even have. They weren't even Tour de France bikers didn't even have legs. There's just fucking. It was just a machine that did this through the Alps.
There's a whole thing about the Russians cheating. Remember, because like remember when like they were letting Russian individual athletes participate, but they weren't representing Russia.
Yes.
Well, that's because in the Olympics previous to that, they had done this
They
thing.
doped, like for everyone.
They had cut holes in the walls where they kept the vials, and they were actually like somebody was like going in through like the ductwork, getting into a room and reaching through the wall and replacing bad urine with good urine, and then replacing the hole in the wall. And eventually somebody caught wind of it because I think there was like brick dust around like the urine bottles. I'm like, what's this for? They're like, oh, someone's removed this entire brick and hid behind the wall and replaced their pee.
It's a glory hole. It's a glory hole, I swear.
Glory hole.
This is a good one. I've never heard of this. Dora Ratjen, high jump. So let's see here, 1936 Olympics, a man whose name was actually Herman was convinced by the Hitler Youth to bind his genitals tightly to his body with the intention of competing against other women. He finished 4th.
Damn.
Yeah.
Come on, brother.
It's
You
like
got at least grab the bronze.
illegal cars and I guess Formula One. There's like corked bats, like fifth down. There's some point shaving.
Oh, who had the corked bat? Was it
Sosa.
No, was it so? What, I don't know if it was Sosa. Was it Mo Vaughn? Is that a name that I'm thinking of?
Dan, move on. Is it? I'm trying to remember exactly what. Did he have one?
I think I could be wrong. I want to say it's Mo Vaughn, and I want to say that they weren't sure on the field, so they took the bat to like a secret location in the stadium, and he paid like the bat boy a bunch of money to go crawl through like and try to retrieve it, but he couldn't make it.
Shit.
Here's a good one. 2000 Spanish Paralympics team. Out of the 12 members, only 2 of them were mentally disabled. They said they did like a Johnny Knoxville type thing. This is like the 2008 Chinese gymnastics team. A lot of them were. I think you have to be 14 to compete in the Olympics, and some of them they
I
thought
think
were like
so
12
for
or
like
13.
gymnastics and like
Yeah, Rosie Ruiz Boston Marathon. That's the one I was talking about. Look that up. That's incredible. So I'll leave it at
Oh yeah,
that.
never heard
Yeah.
of that one. Sweet.
Cheating. Cheating. Well, hey,
It's the American way.
that's we ain't cheating no more. We're gonna expand our minds. We're
Listen,
gonna cheat the world with knowledge. Let's get
if
to
we
it.
could, if we could cheat you, we will, and if not, we'll blow you up.
Oh,
That's right.
before I get to Fun Fact Friday, just on the heels of this whole cheating thing, I know that Michael Jordan has gotten kind of like, I don't know if he's gotten his name sullied. I think maybe we all finally found out who Michael Jordan actually is because of the documentary.
I think we knew that, but-
I think we knew that, but it wasn't confirmed, but now it is. I do want to elevate Jordan's name once again to a position of superiority. I watched this thing about this guy who hit $1 million shot. He actually made the shot from the foul line on the other side of the court. So a 3/4 court shot for $1 million, hits it. The insurance company decided they weren't going to pay the $1 million because he once played organized basketball at his local YMCA.
Oh
yeah,
Christ.
leave it
And
to insurance companies, baby.
and apparently in the bylines it said that if you ever played any organized basketball that you were disqualified, though the Bulls are the ones who pulled his name and he disclosed it on his application. So what had happened was Michael Jordan and the rest of the fucking like 96 Bulls marched into the front office and said, "You're going to pay that motherfucker his money." This guy got paid. He didn't know this is what happened. He showed up to a kids basketball game where Michael Jordan was going to be watching and said, "Hey, can you sign the ball I made that shot with?" And he said, "No, I'm not signing it." But at the end of the game, he called the guy over and he goes, "Hey, did you get your money?" He's like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "All right." That was it. Michael Jordan made sure this motherfucker got his fucking $1 million.
But then was like, "Fuck you, I'm not signing your ball."
Sign it. You could pay me.
I fucking
Pay
love
me. Pay me $1,000.
it.
So let's
you
get to it.
do that shit for free.
Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. It is your mental floss. Amazing facts brought to you, of course, by our great friends over at the Shin Splints Recovery Group. And I just saw a recent post by a Shin Splints Recovery Group member. I mean, the taunting, it needs to end. Bullying in this country needs to cease to be, just like Shin Splints needs to cease to be. Wes, I saw that you testified. You testified.
I saw that.
Oh, I thought this was going to be an anonymous.
Oh
an-
no.
an-
No! Don't hide your shame.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the Shin Splints Recovery Group is a judgment-free zone. It's a safe space for brand new members. And by the way, you're right. Bullying is not being tolerated here in this country anymore. John Harbaugh is going to get a 4-game suspension on account of hazing at the University of Michigan football. So take note, people. Hazing, bullying, intimidation.
Jim or John?
John. Wait, Jim.
Jim.
Jim, sorry. The former well,
Former
yeah, sorry.
NFL player.
Former NFL player, played for the Ravens for a year, by the way.
He did.
Anywho, a not so anonymous new Shin Splints Recovery Group member named myself said, "Ever so thankful I stumbled across this group a little over 25 years ago. I was 15. I fractured my tibia. Very clean break, but there were growth plate concerns. After a relatively easy 6 weeks in a cast, I jumped the gun on getting back into sports. Bad move. I was hit with a serious case of shin splints due to favoring my freshly healed fracture with my healthy leg. Took about 4 months to finally feel normal again. Nowadays, I only have a minor case about once a year, nothing a little ice doesn't cure. But what's more troubling is the psychological scar tissue that still rears its ugly head from the name calling of some incredibly troubled teenage boys that I called friends. Weak shins, glass shins, thin shins. Sir breaks his shins. Don't worry, keep your shin up. Not by the hairline fracture of my shinny shin. Principal Shinner. Scarecrow, Cowardly Lion, and the Shin Man. Shinny yaw, shinny yeah, shinny yay. Schindler's List. And have you been on a diet? You're looking shinner. The list went on and on. Anyway, it looks like a safe group, and for that I'm happy. I hope those people that pestered me for 3 years are in a better place now than they were all those years ago. So thank you, Shin Splints Recovery Group, for hearing me out.
Yeah, and I saw plenty of bat padding comments as well. I believe there's another comment up there. Somebody being a kind of a twat.
Let's see here. Those dirty shinners should be ashamed of themselves. Of themselves.
Pretty good.
It's dirty shinners.
Thank you. Let's get to it. Your 5 fun facts on your Friday. Did you know cardinals are fans of anting, or covering themselves in ants, both living and dead? The bird will allow ants to crawl around their bodies or stuff ant corpses into their feathers. Why? One theory is that the formic acid secreted by the insects helps rid the birds of lice. Ants may also help clean up dried oils left over from preening. If ants aren't handy, birds will also be known to use cigarette butts, beetles, and coffee.
Wow, cardinals, man, making use of what they can. I like. There are not just parasitic animals, but also small, like whales and other aquatic life that get kind of get their skin cleaned by their smaller fish. Crocodiles keep their mouths open while birds, pick other
peck
stuff,
away at the,
peck away. Yeah, but birds in particular. But no, this is interesting. They just let dead ants secrete all over them?
They'll either rub the dead ants on them, or they'll just like kind of lift themselves up and just let the ants crawl all over them. That's just weird, man.
That is strange.
It's sort of like that. Like, what's that Asian thing where you go in, you put your feet in the water, and like all the little carp like suck on your toes.
Little fishies, yeah.
Yeah. I also think of what was I going to say here. No, this is what I was going to ask is how some poor bastard cardinal just couldn't get enough ants, either dead or alive, and was like, you know what, these cigarette butts might work. How the hell they get that crafty?
I know, right? You are right. I mean, beetles I get. Coffee I don't understand. And where are they getting coffee? Like, where are birds finding coffee? They fly
Coffee.
in.
I'm assuming it's ground.
I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm assuming it's Folgers.
I gotta know, like it just the little like half an ounce on a styrofoam cup that wasn't drank.
Best
Just like-
part of waking up is
Chock full of
Folgers
nuts.
in your butt. Yeah. thanks.
Cardinals in your cup.
Did you know, as well as being one of the strangest words in the dictionary, Archimimi or Archimimi is also perhaps one of the strangest occupations in history. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, an Archimimi was a, quote, chief buffoon or jester whose job involved attending funerals or impersonating the deceased person. Hey, everybody! Thanks for showing up.
That's
Wait,
fucking awesome.
hold on,
I wish I had that job.
Attending funerals.
Attending,
For
attending funerals or impersonating the deceased person.
what? Wow.
That's a good gig.
Yeah, you talk about.
like that.
I mean, I thought these two fishermen that got caught cheating were going to get their ass kicked pretty quick. The Archimimi might beat them to the punch, literally.
No, sir, he is hired for that specific purpose.
Oh,
kick
you
his
don't-
ass.
You don't
He
think this is
revered.
you don't think this is like a funeral crashing type thing where it's
No.
hey, who's the
No,
oh,
it's a
okay.
celebration.
This is his job. He is a professional cocksucker.
Oh. Gosh,
I'm going to show
I
up
thought-
as you, Wes, at your funeral if you go before me. Just so you
First of all, that's awesome. Second of all, no, I thought maybe it was like kind of like a street, someone performing on the street where you have your guitar case open or you have a hat if you're something like that. You go in, you bust the crowd up, you do a couple jokes, and then you say, hey, I'm just a couple dollars for my time, thank you. You're freelance, you're 1099.
How do you spell that?
Okay, it is Archimime.
That's why I couldn't find it. I couldn't even I'm usually pretty good at deciphering words, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
So it's
And you
either
know-
Archimime or Archimime.
I think
I'm-
it's an Archimime.
Archimime. I'm the kind of asshole that the next person that in my life passes away that I'm not incredibly, incredibly close with, I may pitch that idea as if I'm legitimately like, we should do that. Like, hey, we should hire an Arkham. But what are you talking about? Oh, it's someone who comes and impersonates Fred, who just passed away. Wouldn't that be a great tribute? They tell jokes in his voice. They do his inflections. They do his
the whole thing. They
reactions.
wear
Like,
his clothes.
what? What? I'm Fred. You
Yeah.
know, God, that would be great. It's just such a good way to memorialize the guy. And
And he looks nothing like him.
But I just like, I mean, one, the name's ridiculous, which makes sense if they're a professional buffoon or jester. But like, that's your job, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a
that's
cool
your
job.
gig.
yeah,
Cool
can you
job.
imagine?
I would fucking
trying-
love to do that.
That had to have been a thing post video, right?
Pre-video.
Unless I mean,
Pre-video.
pre-video, pre like so they knew. What if you didn't know the person? What did you just do? Like a couple interviews with some
Well,
loved
this,
ones
this
and
is
try to.
ancient shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
This is
They
like,
probably just fed him some lines, you know, like he's a funny guy,
Right.
loved fart jokes.
oh,
like-
that, and I mean, even like London itself.
say no
probably-
more.
London itself probably had like 1,200 people. You know, I mean, like, so
Right.
the gene.
Not, but okay.
No, I'm saying like the gene pool at that time was probably a little thin. You know what I mean? Everybody probably knew each other. So like
Knew
your
each other.
town moron was like everybody knew you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Ted
Everybody had
always.
predictable lives, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, he was the cobbler, and then the guy just comes and pretends to make shoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as difficult now. Or it's not as difficult as it would be now.
Arkham. I love it. I think it's time to bring it back. It's a dead profession.
Well,
Legitimately.
consider my gift to your family upon death if you leave before me. That.
Half of them will beat you in the parking lot, and the other half will fucking pat you on the back.
I know.
See-
It's gonna be great.
Obviously, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to visit a bakery, and you're going to need to get yourself a giant Italian roll and put that down your pants to mimic
Of course.
my godpiece, and be like, "Hey, look, I'm Wes. Look at this thing."
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in khaki shorts and a Bullets t-shirt. and the roll's gonna come out of the bottom part of the leg of the short.
Oh, you should break a little bit off and eat it.
You just reminded me of something. We had a guest in the studio, and when I was on the radio, and we also had gotten a whole like big bag of gifts from Adam and Eve, like the sex toy company.
Oh god.
And so we had this giant dildo, and what I did is I just stuffed it in my pants, but I stuffed it so it was hanging up above my waistband, like up above my belly button, the tip. And somebody said something, and I was like, "Yeah!" And when my shirt came up, like you could see like the tip of a cock, and nobody said a word, and you just saw everybody's eyes go like, "Woo, woo, woo." And we never told them it was a fucking gag. Oh, it's so goddamn good.
Professionals, man.
That's right.
Professionals.
What you
Yeah.
do. Did you know? At any given moment, clouds cover about 67% of the Earth's surface.
Wow. Interesting.
Now, I have a
Cumulus,
question.
Stratus and
Serious?
Columbus.
Cumulonimbus.
Now, okay, so the question is, Alan, you're pretty good at this kind of stuff. When they say the Earth's surface, now I would assume that they're saying clouds, so they're not talking about fog, or are they talking about like low Earth atmosphere?
I don't know, because fog is cloud. It's just sat low, and not because it's heavier density wise.
But they
so
do
like
make a distinction because a cloud is a ground, or fog is a
Like fog
ground
is-
cloud.
yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I
I
don't
just
know.
can't
I
see
mean, I-
67% of the Earth being like foggy.
Well, it's not surprising because like if you keep in mind, like I wouldn't say that they like fog is going to comprise a huge percentage of that, but I would think that their concept is like at any given times clouds are covering 60% of the Earth's surface, and you think about that like not on the ground surface, but like covering the surface of it. If you were looking at covering the surface of the flat plate
That's right.
floating in the sky
I was about to correct you. Yeah.
in the universe. Yeah. So like it's very you can see how it'd be very simple if you have a big flat plate, how 67% of that could be covered by fucking cloud. And I'm gonna add to this because clouds are just water. and the fucking planet's 75%, 80% water. So that kind of makes sense to me because all you're doing is just water cycling, right? That's all fucking clouds are. So at any given point in time, yeah, I would assume the cloud/water is covering at least 67% of the fucking Earth. Yeah, that checks out. Logically.
Well,
at least.
but wait, hold on though. What happens though? Do the clouds ever just like bunch up at the wall?
Yeah, I would assume so. I would think my thought would be that like much like the DVD emblem that fucking only hits the corner perfectly like once every 30 minutes.
Ah,
Yeah, like clouds kind of bundle into the corner and then it's just like boop up back to the other end of the world again.
okay,
And then it just keeps going like that.
okay.
I was thinking it was on like two. It was just a continuous kind of stream of paper music type thing. The clouds. Or,
Well,
and
my-
it just kind of keeps this.
My
rolling-
original
rolling on
hypothesis
thing.
was something like that, like an old timey laundry line. It's just a circle, and you just pull it. Yeah, and it's just it's just cotton candy. It just keeps floating.
Which
Sometimes
makes
goes underneath the plate and then comes back up.
which makes sense because Africa's so hot, and that's the center of the wheel,
Yeah, checks out.
so everything spins around it.
We're catching on now.
Look, I'm an advocate for truth. So
Yeah. Remember to check out Flat Earth Science, Advocates for Truth, to discuss this brand new theory in further detail.
theorize with us.
Did you know? In 2019, Wally Conron, the Australian dog breeder credited with popularizing the Labradoodle, called the designer dog breed his, quote, life's regret. Since his inception of the Labradoodle in 1989, designer crossbreeds have become a hot trend in the dog world, leading some breeders to prioritize cuteness and novelty over the dog's well-being. Quote, I opened a Pandora's box and released a Frankenstein's monster, he told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation.
Yep.
Hey, okay? So I saw this on Adam Ruins Everything. Aren't
He does ruin a lot.
he does? Aren't purebreds just? I mean, aren't they walking cesspools for
Yeah.
Yes.
bad genetics anyway? Yeah. Okay.
Well,
But
'cause
this,
they're inbreeding them.
the original Labradoodle, though, if you're like that guy and this is like your life's work, like you're taking a Labrador retriever, essentially like a golden retriever, and you're mixing it with a poodle, like two of the smartest, most loyal dogs on planet Earth. And so you are crossbreeding these genetics, which is a good thing. And you're getting like almost like this perfectly cute, perfectly obedient, perfectly fun-loving like dog. And then everybody's like, I like what he did there. You know what I like? I like a pug's face on a mastiff body. Yeah. And it's like you just you get the elephant man in dog form.
Exactly. That's exactly how that happens. Correct. And then once you make one that's like kind of good, and you do it again with the same kind, oh man, boy, do the Punnett squares of genetic anomalies fucking just come out of the woodwork. It's fucking good stuff. I'm fairly certain, like, English bulldog breeders just bash litters against the fucking rock every so often because they're just fucking useless. Like,
It's like the Fly when he comes out the other fucking end at the end of the movie, like, kill me.
yeah, but you get one of them fucking cute blue ones. $6,000, please.
Yeah, like a Jeff Goldblum with tiny wings so he can fly. Like, look at me, I'm perfect. Yeah.
I paid $6,000 for that.
By the way, your brother fucked me up because apparently you and your brother and your dad all watched The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, and there's a point where he's actually saving the body parts that fall off of his body, and your
his
dad,
penis, his nose, yeah.
your dad found the dick inside the inside the medical like behind the mirror and the medicine cabinet, and so then I had to go back and rewatch the entire movie to get to that scene to pause it just to see Jeff Goldblum's penis
Now I
inside
got
the medicine cabinet.
Mind
Now
you,
I fucking gotta watch it. And I
This
hate
is
The
the-
Fly because it traumatized me as a child.
this is the first movie I saw in theater.
Ugh.
Wow,
Just for frame of reference.
That's
Yeah.
a bad parenting or not.
it's
Uh,
terrible.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you, it took me about 2 years to get comfy to go see another movie.
yeah.
I was like, if that's the movie theater, not for me. I like my living room with Hulk Hogan.
Do they show anything but The Fly in there? I'm not going in there.
It's-
Yeah, that's That's a check mark on the negatives, the cons.
Yeah, that's
the
wild.
The Alan Fox con box. That
Mm.
the fly goes in there.
Yeah, couldn't have softened me up just a tick. Yeah, well, I think the next one I went and saw was, oh Christ, what's that? It's not a Pixar movie. I think it's a Disney movie with with dinosaurs. A Land Before Time.
Okay. Oh wow, you went the other way. Fed you the fucking candies and gumdrops. All right.
Right?
Wow, that was a school trip. I had to go do that. I didn't have to, but I was like, all right, well, my kindergarten teacher's not going to fool me into a sicko fucking psycho flick.
Is Lightfoot gonna spit acid in the other dinosaurs' faces and have his nose fall off and peel it? No. Okay.
You sure? Yeah.
And finally, did you know parts of the Appalachian Mountains are more than 1 billion years old? They've eroded and reformed multiple times since then.
I didn't know. So I wouldn't. Okay, I wouldn't have known a billion on the dot. I would have guessed close to that. It would like probably more like 700-800 million. The only reason I remember that is because the earthquake from about 10 to 11 years ago that shook it. So then we got a very, I don't know, news-oriented education on
okay, so
the
they
Appalachian
went-
Mountains in general, because that, remember that thing, the epicenter was somewhere like Northern Virginia, close to West Virginia and Maryland, but it went, people like as north as New York and as south as North Carolina felt it to
Yeah.
some extent. It was like a much more robust, like, oh, well,
It was super
the
deep,
tectonic
that's
plates.
why,
and,
yeah.
well, the plates in the mountains are different than the West Coast, and that's why it was felt, by a much broader audience, much wider area. And I do remember them, talking about the age of the Appalachians.
I just remember I was leaving work and I was like driving through the
Appalachian.
parking lot, and I guess that's exactly when it happened. And I was like, man, one of my wheels is off balance. Those motherfuckers. Those motherfuckers.
I was like the memes with like the lawn chair knocked over, and it was like never forget earthquake.
Yeah, I was sleeping in my office and thought, don't know what to think. Actually, just,
I don't know where I was. What year was that? I actually think I was in the my mother was getting ready for a surgery. I was in the hospital.
2010.
Yeah, it was like
2011.
It was like 10, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in that
Yeah,
range.
I am fairly certain that's what happened, because like it happened in a hospital for me, and people were like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "It's a fucking hospital. It's fine."
But it's interesting. I was in a hospital myself, but I was working there. I was an
Oh,
employee.
nice.
Yeah.
Watching a penis get cut off.
Watching somebody's gangrenous penis get chopped off.
No wonder, so boring. No wonder I was sleeping. Actually, they were building. I don't know, like getting into some like heroic moment. They were building a new ER area, and I thought that a crane had dropped because they did have cranes working out there, and I ran towards it because I thought maybe for a fleeting moment that someone was fucked up or needed to be helped or something. And I ran there, and it was just, the crane was standing. I just looked like an idiot with red eyes and hair disheveled. I definitely wasn't sleeping, I'll tell you that. The earthquake did this. Made my hair just go, whoa.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
I feel better. I feel, Archimime,
I feel
that
educated.
one. That
Yeah,
one,
I learned a new word, and that's
Yeah.
fucking hard.
a new profession,
Yeah.
something. If times are tough, folks, if you're looking for something, you just like, I haven't found my calling. I don't know what makes me happy. I think we got something for you.
Be a dick.
Funeral jester.
Yeah, that's right.
Be a professional asshole.
Now, do you think they impersonate him the entire time, or do they have to set the stage? They have to like
yeah, I
tell a
hope
joke
so.
and be like, "This is what he would have said or she would have said."
I want detailed notes. Like, I'm not going to eat anything that you don't eat.
I wonder. Yeah, I
Eat
wonder if they
things
like.
exactly the way you eat them.
I wonder if they like closed the casket and then they were just like, oh, and before we bow our heads, and it's like, wait a second, I'm Wesley Fox. I'm still alive.
Oh, so the casket has a false bottom. The body goes out. The Archimon gets in. They open the casket back up, and he jumps out and goes, "Look, everyone! Hey,
I'm Bobcat Goldthwait.
I'm Bobcat Goldthwait, back from the spaceship.
Jesus Christ.
Hello, everybody." God, I haven't done that in a while. I haven't thought about that in a while.
I haven't even thought of it.
Thank you, Murr. Thank you.
You're
God.
welcome.
All right. So on tonight's Before You Go, hey folks, Alan has picked a subpar,
Subpar,
good,
baby.
bad movie for us to review. I watched it today. Alan, I believe, watched it today. Murr watched it last week.
No, I
And it's
watched it like 3 weeks ago when Alan
I
was
watched
supposed to
it
review
today.
it.
Yeah.
Murr, Alan Murr actually hit me up because, God damn it, when are we reviewing this fucking movie?
Because what had happened was, like, Alan was supposed to review it like 3 weeks ago,
Totally
and
forgot.
and it was like, oh guys, I totally forgot to fucking review this. And then for whatever reason, we kept putting it off. And I had watched it literally like the night before we were supposed to review it, so it'd be fresh in my mind. So my notes are just they're stale.
Oh boy, have I got a refresher for you?
Okay, yeah, get to
All
it.
right. So the film is 1985's Private Resort, as you guys all know. This is Johnny Depp's first feature film.
I
For
have
those of
a
you-
I have a rebuttal for that. I genuinely don't believe that this was supposed to be. I mean, yeah, Johnny Depp's in the movie, obviously. But I don't think he was the star originally of the movie. I think that either something happened in the personal world, or some of his other projects got big before this movie was released. Because the main character in that movie is not Johnny Depp. It's that
yeah,
guy.
it's really his buddy, right? Rob Morrow. I
Yes.
think. If you're asking me.
Agreed.
Yeah, like he gets way more screen time. Like it seems to me that Johnny Depp is the buddy. But we digress. I'll give you a quick plot rundown. I'm gonna take it from Wikipedia because theirs is the best one that I found. So Johnny Depp and Rob Morrow star as Jack and Ben, respectively, teen buddies on the prowl for wealthy girls at a posh Miami resort where they are weekend guests. Also on the prowl is the Maestro, played by Hector Elizondo, with a great fucking head of hair, by the way, a skilled jewel thief pursuing the diamond necklace of a society woman, Amanda Rawlings, played by Dottie Goodman of 70s fame. While they accidentally run afoul of the Maestro, Jack and Ben suddenly have their hands full. That's it. And so I think I described this to you guys as like they get onto this resort, they make like one misstep after another, and it's just like it's classic 1980s like hijinks and titties and like bad comedy.
Yeah.
And it's fucking after rewatching it after probably a decade of not having rewatched, it's exactly what the fuck it is.
Two
Go ahead.
two attractive young men get
Yeah.
on a resort for a 4-day excursion
Yep.
with the intention of just getting laid as much as they possibly can,
Yep.
and then find themselves in the crosshairs of a very volatile jewel thief.
Yeah, of the
Hilarity
Maestro,
ensues.
Hector Elizondo. They laugh at
Hilarity
hijinks.
ensues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a couple key things here. It's 14% on the tomato meter, so you know it's good. Fucking.
It's a spoiler.
I thought a very key metric was time to titty. I clocked time to titty at exactly 3 minutes and 45 seconds. This
Really?
shit is literally at the end of like the intro credits.
Yeah,
Boom.
When that was one of the things that I watched, and I'm glad you clocked it because there was one point, like towards the end of the movie, right before the climax, and I was just like, well, I guess that's all the titties in this movie. And all of a sudden, they burst through a door of chicks like in a locker room, and like, ah! And I'm like, there it is. They fucking. It was almost like the director or the producers were like, oh, wait a second, we've gone 4 minutes without any titties.
Yeah.
Like literally every my wife watched it with me this afternoon, and literally like every new scene, she was like, "Well, Andrew Dice Clay's gonna need a condom." Like, it called it. Like,
That's right.
So,
Yeah, but mind you, the time to first hit. Would you clock it at 3:45?
3 minutes and 45 seconds.
The from 1 to 3:45 is just latent with skin, butts,
Yeah.
bikinis.
So the whole
it's
intro
almost
scene-
as shocking. I think like when I saw that first hit, I was like, "Damn, I saw
I
saw
believe
a lot
I
of
hadn't seen
beautiful
the
women
tit
before."
yet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
this isn't that kind
you're
of
right.
movie.
So the whole intro scene is Johnny Depp and this guy basically just doing a lap around the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing all the scantily clad goodness. There's like the kid who's like using the fish hook to get the lady's top off. Like there's always that mischievous kid at the resort pool, right? Fucking, and then you meet Hector Elizondo and you meet his wife, played by fucking Leslie Easterbrook, who is fucking Callahan of Police Academy fame, the tall blonde busty one. That's
and
Callahan.
you do see her titty, but it's through
Oh.
like a sheer nighty
Yeah,
type
it's through
thing.
a sheer thing, but you definitely see Callahan titty.
She must have
Uh-huh.
had
I
some
count-
enhancement between there and Police Academy because I'm not. Look, what I saw was fine. That's all I'm saying. But I
Yeah.
was just like, but by the time, but I did not know that was her from Police Academy. She definitely got a job done.
Yeah. Right. So the way that all this breaks down, we'll backtrack and I'll try to run through it real quick for you guys. It's hard to hit all the high points because it's literally just hijink after hijink. But what happens is they do their lap around the pool. The one fucking dorky one who is technically the main character kind of gets smitten with like the dorky waitress lady, and then
God,
fucking
I wish
Johnny
I knew
Depp.
dorky waitresses like that.
Yeah, well, right. Well, she's the dorky one of the fucking rest of the crowd. She's a fucking smoke show. But either way, so Johnny Depp, of course, being the Johnny Depp character, tries to fucking hit on Callahan, who is the maestro's wife. This very, angry jewel thief on the resort. All about business. He's trying to get this diamond. The lady, Callahan, maestro's wife, does not accidentally leave her room key. Or does accidentally leave her room key, which Johnny Depp reads as an invitation to come to the room to bang. He goes to the room with his buddy to bang, and then fucking Hector Elizondo comes in, and the hijinks immediately ensue. Johnny Depp's naked in the bedroom. He thinks the wife wants to fuck him. The other friend's pretending to be the resort barber. He gives Hector Elizondo a bad haircut. Fucking everybody's got to run from the room, and basically from then on it is just total fucking chaos. There's a pure yes, go ahead.
It's a Rube Goldberg fucking
Yes.
just calamity after calamity after calamity leading to the end. I don't think, I will say this, Alan, I know this is your movie to review, but I don't think it deserves a 19% on the thermometer.
No, I don't think it does at all. Look, if we're gonna hit the highlights here, there's quick time to titty. There's young Johnny Depp. There's a plethora of other titty. There's young Hector Elizondo with a great haircut. There's fucking Callahan. There's a reference to Quaaludes to get ladies to have sex with him. Johnny Depp at some point is like, he's telling his buddy, look, give her a couple of these lewds, she'll loosen right up for you. Really fucking problematic. But 1985.
Yeah, who is, by the way, a religious nut who then takes her
Yes.
hair down and disrobes, who has a great set of knockers on her.
Great set of knockers. Yes.
Here's the thing, though. Let's break that down for a second, though. Okay.
Which, the Quaaludes?
Yes, the Quaaludes, because okay, part of me, when I saw that, believe me, Alan, I was as shocked as you are, but I'm shocked from a now perspective. I mean, you got to remember, 1985 is almost fucking 40 years ago.
Yep.
So did they think something different of Quaaludes, almost half a century ago? Did they think that they did make you horny and people took them for recreation, whereas now we know that they're like, nope, you don't remember anything, and yeah, you get banged out, but you don't remember why you did or if you liked it or not.
I think it was such a sign of the times that they definitely didn't make you horny. That's not what the medicine does.
I know, but to use it in that manner in a
casually,
so casually in a obviously a major motion picture production.
Yeah.
It seems like they viewed Quaaludes in a different manner than we do now.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I think they did.
maybe because they knew the writing was on the wall and they were running out. This is,
And it was totally,
it.
and it was totally it was totally acceptable to just loot up a babe and have some sex with her in the 1985. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, that was the one where my wife was like, "Whoa."
Well,
Right.
I mean, but the reason I'm bringing it up is
Say that?
if I'm Bill Cosby now, right? I'm like, why don't you watch The Private Resort with the Johnny Depp? Because Quaaludes weren't a big deal in 1985 when I was using them on all these women in my hotel room.
Right. Even though I knew what they did. And see, that's the point, though, I think. Everybody knew what they did. Nobody talked about it, though. He literally on his sleigh sliding out of the door is like, here, man, just give her a couple of these. She'll be fucking great.
That's right. Just hold on. No, you because you're playing third wheel with a religious chick, you give these to have sex with her. That way, I can have sex with a
the
whore
smoking hot babe.
by the smoking hot babe by the pool.
But the way they represented the the side effects, if you will, of the Quaaludes was like it made the chick with the diamond, the old lady, it just made her super horny, and she just wanted to bang everybody around her. Like
That is true.
she
That's
didn't go
true.
to sleep on the bed. She was like, I want to have sex with everyone.
That is
like,
true.
So like the way they portrayed what a Quaalude was not what we know it to be.
Maybe
Yeah, I think
Hollywood
in the
had it wrong.
80s we thought Quaaludes were like Spanish fly, and they were like roofies.
That's right. I got a couple of notes that I had. So Rob Morrow, who plays Ben, who
Yes.
you guys said was supposed to be the main character. I could
think
not
he
get over.
kinda is more.
He had a cheesy laugh after every line. He
Yeah.
would say a line and go with a
Fucking
stupid
worst.
smile. I also thought it was funny that Miss Rawlings, played by
Donnie Goodman.
Dottie Goodman, knew kung fu and beat the shit out of the maestro on more than one occasion. The other thing that I noted was, much like the Quaalude thing, where you kind of turn a blind eye and you turn it into comedy. There are multiple scenes where handguns and/or automatic weapons are waved around in a large crowd of people, and people
So
are
that was my-
continuing to laugh. Like,
This is my this is my
this
final
psycho,
note.
this psycho has a fucking AK. Let's laugh because he has pie on his face. Whee!
This is my final note. So there's a final like chase scene where like it's the end of the vacation. Fucking Hector Elizondo's getting ready to leave the resort with Callahan, and fucking the boys are getting ready to leave the resort with their pretty girls that they've nailed down, and but Hector Elizondo can't let it go. He's got to go find the fucking barber who fucked up his hair. And there is like a 10 to 15 minute fucking final chase scene around the entire resort with Hector Elizondo and Johnny Depp and Rob Morrow, and fucking they shoot down hallways with other people in them.
Yep.
Fucking they enter a fucking like full banquet hall with people eating dinner, and so, I don't even know where Hector Elizondo gets the automatic weapon. I think it just materializes in his hand, and then he literally shoots it nonstop for like 2 minutes. It's got a clip this big, and he shoots 300 rounds out of the fucking thing. It really goes off the fucking rails in the last like 10 minutes. And you're right. That is I was like, why did they just keep shooting?
Yeah.
And I was going to say one more point about the eating thing. That scene where he's shooting is they had hit every fucking trope, like every 80s trope. There was some bullying, there was some this, that, the other, some cheating boyfriends and girlfriends. And then there was finally the fat character, and there was a fat woman at the buffet who did not stop eating while they were shooting all around her. And I was like, they nailed every fucking 80s trope they were like, oh fuck, we don't have the fat person eating in a weird situation. Get her in there.
Yeah, they also every fist fight scene, and there were a few. You know, there was the employee who wanted Ben's girlfriend, who was like, "Hey,
Oh,
baby,
yeah, that guy.
maybe you meet up with me." And then he fought Ben, and then Andrew Dice Clay fought a few other people. He had inadvertently punched the security guard, who's throughout the whole fucking movie
Just gets his shit kicked.
Just
Yeah.
get the shit kicked out of him. And they use the same sound effect for every punch.
Every
It's a
single one.
1980s like
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
And in classic 80s style, they use the tranny joke ad nauseum.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. Yeah. Wait, he in the last scene. There's the gun shooting. He calls him an F word hairdresser for that's a gay slur. Yeah.
Right.
It gets, like I said, the last 10 minutes is real fucking wild. I don't
Sure.
know why. I don't know if it was written that way. I don't know if production just fucking. They were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just wrap it up. But I feel
here's-
like they were just like, we don't have guns. This is an 80s movie. We need a chase. We need guns. We need a fucking some more hilarity. Let's end it off.
And
That's
we
right.
need a
Oh,
locker
and-
room to get those last sets of titties in
In a
there.
locker
Yeah.
room full of tits. Yeah.
And of course, Asian tourists taking pictures of the
Yes,
shootout
that's
of the
right.
salon and laughing at everybody because
Oh,
And
and
laughing at it.
And not
because,
just
because
that,
a psycho with an automatic weapon with pie cream on his face is funny if you're there.
Yeah, that's true.
and you had the two Asian guys who were sumo wrestlers, and all they did was like sumo wrestle and talk in broken Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is okay. So this is the one scene that I had to go back and watch. One scene that I had to go back and watch again, specifically because I was confused as to what was going on. The maestro is chasing Ben. Ben jumps into what is a locker room for a performance that's going to take place on the
Yes.
resort.
Yes.
Ben, who is only wearing a bathrobe esque type
He's just
thing
wearing
over his
gym
junk-
shorts at that
gym
time. I
shorts,
know what you're talking about.
jumps and puts on enough
lady's
clothing to
dress.
appear as a woman. The maestro then comes in and then becomes immediately smitten with him. I thought for
Yes.
sure that he was doing this as an act. That way, when he got Ben alone, he was going to kill him. Turns
Agreed.
out, no, the maestro was legitimately attracted to
Yeah.
what he
All
saw.
while his wife is
and
sitting
lo-
in a cab with the meter running.
lost all of his senses, lost all traction on what he was doing, had no desire to find Ben or the jewels. He was like, this woman, this is what I want right
I'm going
now.
to bang her in the elevator with Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, and then he,
Yeah.
and then that fucking that diamond he worked so hard to steal, he drops down Ben's cleavage, and then he has to chase Ben some more.
That's right. He's gonna put it on Ben. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Private fucking resort. And all
Private
you know,
resort.
think about this. These two were running from the maestro for what? I mean, that happens what, the second day?
Yeah,
Third
like
day?
yeah. Well, no, it happens day one.
Yeah.
No,
Very
because
first day.
I thought at night. Maybe this is the first day. Okay.
Yeah, because
All right.
he goes back to the room with the key.
Yeah,
and then, yeah.
Because I was thinking about the night scene where that woman's like, the first guy I meet, I'm gonna take him home with me, and Johnny
Oh, that's
Depp's
the
like,
next
"Hey."
night. Yeah,
that's the next
that's the
night. You're
next
right. So they're trying to avoid crossing paths with the maestro on a resort of what, 300 people for
Which what appears to be about 300 people. Yeah.
for what, 3
Yeah.
days?
It's like trying to avoid somebody at your Holiday Inn in Ocean City.
Yeah, well, when you're horny and full of roofies, I don't know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, when you're horny and you got a Tylenol bottle full of Quaaludes, anything goes, boys.
Anything goes. Well, Christ, Private Resort. I had to kick reviewing this one. Good pick, Alan. And you're right. 'Cause I thought I actually Sarah did ask. She was like, "Is this a good bad movie that I'm gonna have to watch in the near future?" I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think about this one."
My wife was like, "I just lost brain cells, you fucking dick." And I was like,
You know
"Hey,
what?
You're welcome."
Here's the thing, though. There was a time where cinema was really just for men. Not a lot of ladies liked watching movies. I don't know if it was an attention span thing. I don't know if it was that kitchen needs cleaning, so you don't got time to fucking spend 2.5 hours
I was
down at
gonna
the
say.
fucking city.
Let's pause there for a sec because you're absolutely right. Because not on top of the Quaaludes, two horny boys chasing tail, like the Andrew Dice Clay sideline, where just to inject more hijinks is like Andrew Dice Clay's at the bar cheating on his girlfriend with a resort goer, and then enlists the help of the boys to cheat on the girl. And that's where the line that you had mentioned, Wes, where the girl's like, "I'm gonna sleep with the next guy across my path." Johnny Depp, the fucking opportunist that he is, tells his buddy, he's like, "Look, run interference, keep Dice Clay out here. I'm gonna go cross that fucking path."
He's like, "Wait a minute,
Fucking-
you definitely don't take her to your room, though. You should do it in
Yeah.
our room. Here's a key."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
of course, if you're listening, you could probably guess that they end up in the same room, hijinks, and then fucking hijinks ensue, right? You gotta, they carry a drunk girl, they drop the body, fucking, he comes in and out, needs a smoke, needs fucking condoms.
He's
I gotta
Jen.
say, I gotta say though, in its defense, era, whatever, doesn't matter.
yeah.
A lot of the hijinks was clever. Like a lot of like this happened. Oh shit, this is happening. Oh shit, this is happening.
See,
It
that
was-
scene.
It was clever.
That seems like a Weekend at Bernie's type.
Yes, yes.
Type
Yes.
thing going on. Yeah.
I was gonna say it does have a very Weekend at Bernie's feel with like the roller coaster of hijink after hijink after hijink. Like they
Right.
just can't quite get themselves out of it, you know.
Can't hit that.
So if you got $3.49, rent it on Amazon Prime.
Or watch it for free on Tubi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think I watched it on something called Cackle.
I might have watched. Maybe I watched it there too. By the way, justwatch.com. You can find out where all movies are, whether they're free or subscription or rentable. Justwatch.com.
Well,
We
beautiful.
don't have money for that.
No, we don't. We ought to. Anyway,
Should. We hit
So-
up Who works at JustWatch.com?
No, you just go to justwatch.com. It tells you where the movie that you're looking for is either
No.
streaming or
Yeah, I understand that. I meant, how do we monetize our fucking advertising?
Good point.
If you
Get
call
more
in, and
listeners.
it's,
I'm sure nobody's ever heard of that shit, so you're welcome, JustWatch.com.
You call in and it's Kramer. Like, playing at Theater 3 is...
Movie phone.
That's right. Mr. Murr, you're next. You got about a month, so mull it over. Tell us what you want to do. Do you want to go mid-'80s Johnny Depp, or you want to go, I don't know, late '70s John Wayne? Did he ever say he never started a good bad movie, right?
No, he just
All of his were
started-
fucking classics.
He started bad good movies.
I was gonna say, I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're a little light on listener comment, so I'm going to hold off on what happened this week until next week. So sorry, folks.
we
Sorry,
got
Blickety Blow.
some-
You are a regular commenter, but we're going to hit it up next week. That way we get a few more. So anyway, Christ, folks, we'll see you in August, I guess. Otherwise, what was it? USA. I saw it was 1-0. Hold on. Let's see if the ladies have tied it up. They tied it up 1-1 in the
Nice.
69th minute.
All right, we gotta
That's
get
just coincidental. All
It
right.
is coincidental. Oh, follow us at MDL Class Holes, Instagram, Twitter, Middle Class Holes, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Fucking follow us.
And
If
find
you
any
need it,
movie
just
you
go
want.
back and listen to the end of the last episode, and you'll catch all that again.
Just watch us at .com.
Yeah, just fucking, I don't know, find us maybe. Or don't.
Just find us .com.
Just fucking listen. Just watch us.
Just watch us find us.
.com. .uk.